All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are just about 7 minutes away from the beginning of round one, and our first 6 artists are getting ready. Tom has finished his demo painting, which looks, I imagine, probably amazing, as always. I haven't seen it. So yeah, Tom Foti, ladies and gentlemen, our previous champion. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, while our artists are just wrapping up on getting set for round number one, I'd like to kind of welcome everybody officially to Art Battle and kind of give you a little play-by-play as to how things are going, and then just kind of a little lay of the land for you. Number one, if anyone's looking for the restrooms and you haven't found them already, they're right out here in the lobby, the white walls, just before you see all the easels with the demo art up and available. If you're hungry or thirsty, there's bar and food right upstairs, and then one outside as well. Let's see, what else do I got for you? Oh, yeah, the most important part. The fun of Art Battle is that it's interactive paintings. Not only do you get to watch this happen live in 20 minutes per round, and it's amazing what these professional artists can do, but we encourage you not just to sit around, but feel free to walk around, take pictures, and just explore the space. And have fun with it all. All right, artists, how you guys looking? You about ready? Thumbs up if you're ready. You got 2 minutes left. So we'll be rolling in just a few minutes. I'll check in with you then. All right, it looks like everybody is all set. Artist, thumbs up if you're good to go. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right, round one's about to start. I'll go ahead and introduce our artists. Starting over on easel number 1 is Kimmy. Kimmy considers her art surrealist infused illustration with a hint of graffiti and psychedelia. She has a passion for nature and understanding it on the deepest level, something she hopes to share with others. She is consistently exploring her style. Over on easel number 2, we have Murdochs. Murdoch, sadly, I do not have a bio for you, so I'll just walk over and just kind of interview you real quick.
Well, hi, my name is Murdoch X, and I have I'm stressing right now, and this mask is helping quite a bit. All right, thank you.
If it makes you feel better, so are me and Kelly. It's been a busy day kind of putting this all together in a new venue, but I hope all of you are having fun so far. All right, we have a returning artist over on easel number 3. Please welcome Sig. Sig is a talented 25-year-old female artist based in Minneapolis. Her work has gained recognition for its distinctive style, which blends bold colors, playful imagery, and a touch of urban edge. Sig has made a name for herself in the industry, creating album artwork, custom skate decks, and merchandise designs for popular artists like Suicide Boys, Walter Wild, and Young Gravy. Which album was that, by the way? Which album was that, the Young Gravy art? All right, next up on easel 4, we have Juanita Tatum, which I don't have a bio for you either, so anything you'd like to say? No? All right, we'll just let the paintbrush do its work. Over on number 5, I believe we have another returning one. Yeah, please welcome Richard Strohmeyer. Richard is a surrealist turned toy designer. He loves black light art and is a big fan of bright colors and patterns. His art skills include drawing, painting, printmaking, and digital design. And finally, over on number 6, we have Tiffany Thompson. Tiffany has created a peanut statue at CHS Baseball Stadium and painted murals around the city. She creates through drawing, painting, photography, sculpting, spray paint, and airbrush. All right, artists, you have 20 minutes on round 1. Audience, feel free to walk around and watch it happen live. We will begin in 3, 2, 1. Let's paint.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Art Battle in Minnesota. We are here at Wisdom Gaming, and we have some paint flying up at the easels. We have our first 6 artists of 12 painting in round number 1. These guys are going to have only 20 minutes on the clock to go from blank canvas to incredible masterpiece right before your eyes. Right now, we are here with Juanita Tatum, and I believe that this is actually Juanita's very first time painting in Art Battle. So welcome to Juanita. We have quite a few first-time artists up at the easels tonight. Juanita looks like she's throwing down some abstract elements. We've got some green and some expressive line work in blue. Looks like she's actually applying the paint directly to the canvas out of the tube, which is always exciting. Looks like the crowd is really enjoying getting to witness these artists unfolding these pieces. And we can see that everyone is really milling around and getting up close to the artistic process here. Juanita's beautiful piece really coming together. We can see this artist is working on the floor. I think that we've got some sort of abstracted landscape going on, potentially a sunset. And here we are with Richard Strohmeyer, who is actually a surrealist toy designer. So I'm very interested to see the kind of character elements that Richard brings into this piece. And I believe this is Tiffany Thompson, the artist that we just saw working on the floor. We can see that she's using a sponge to really expand the paint from the center of her canvas. We can see that Richard is indeed creating a character. I think that it has some bird-like elements going on, and I think it's really interesting the way that Richard has begun to execute this piece, especially with all of that black coming out of the bird. It looks almost like an ink blot that he's blown this ink across the canvas. So a really interesting way to incorporate more organic elements with intentional illustration. Back with Juanita here, and we can see that she is using a spray bottle to spray down her piece, and she's also reducing some of the paint that's on the canvas. So, really taking an approach of applying a lot of washes in the background, which we saw her doing at the beginning, laying paint down, and then peeling some of it off with this, looks like a business card or a credit card to reveal some of the tones that have soaked into the canvas underneath. So, very interesting painting technique here from Juanita. Here we are over with Sig. And Sig is known for mostly creating animal works, but I think that we're seeing some fantasy and gaming elements creeping in here from Sig as well. Definitely always known for creating works that have an element of playfulness. We can see all of our artist appreciators here milling around the canvas, getting very, very excited to see this kind of insider view of artistic creation. So often we are used to seeing artists uh, only with their finished work because they've been creating it in private in their studios. And so to have the mystery kind of unfolding before us in especially this timed area of creating paintings within only 20 minutes, we can see that everyone is really engaged and also thinking about who they're going to be voting for. Voting is open at the link at the bottom of your screen, artbattle.com/AB2618. Also, all of the works created tonight are available for silent auction at that same link. So make sure that you bid on these works if you are falling in love with any of them. It's a great opportunity to collect from emerging artists and also from established artists and get a really great leg into beginning collecting art, especially art that you have seen being created right before your very eyes. So not only do you have the visual representation of the piece itself, but you also have the visual representation of the memory of the night of you watching this piece coming to life.
Artists, you have about 10 and a half minutes remaining in your round. Don't mind me, just testing the mic. Nope, not much louder. I still got mine if we need to switch to it.
Here we are in our final 5 minutes of the round, and time is really ticking down in Minnesota tonight. Once again, we are hanging out for the final quarter of round number 1 in Art Battle Minnesota with our first 6 artists. Here we are with Tiffany Thompson, who's created a really interesting scene here with quite a lot of emotional weight. We have a feeling of hopefulness in the top part of the canvas and also kind of hopelessness at the bottom. So a really interesting piece. I'm feeling like there's definitely some social commentary in there. Here we are with Murdoch X, and Murdoch X has decided to show up at the easel in a Deadpool costume, which is pretty awesome. I always love when artists bring a sense of
5 minutes,
theatricality
artists. You have
to the
5
easel.
minutes remaining.
Still with Tiffany here and getting a closer view of the multitudes of characters that she's created. Over with Richard Straubmeyer, and the way that he has fleshed out this character is just so cool. We have some heavier paint application in this kind of inky black of the feathers of the bird, which is very cool. And also some lighter applications of kind of a watercolor technique in the background and also within the branch of the tree and the beak and the feet of our bird. I'm wondering in the last 3 minutes, is he going to reestablish that pupil of the bird and help us to kind of connect to that character? That's a detail that I would love to see. Seeing an interesting technique also from Juanita there, who had just placed a piece of paper on her canvas to, I think, dry the paint a little bit and wick up some of that moisture so that she would be able to add some of the drawing elements that she is now.
Two-minute warning, artists.
And we have just 2 minutes remaining on the clock in our first round of Art Battle in Minnesota. We can see that Richard here is using a toothbrush to speckle some paint onto the canvas as well. The execution of this character from Juanita has been quite the journey from a very abstract initial approach in our first moments of this painting, now to this very emotional expression of this character with these stylized elements of hair and
25 seconds,
killing it.
artists.
Back over with Sig here, who has added all of these wonderful flourishes around this character. Really,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, help me count them down.
Work here.
8,
really well
7,
executed here from
6,
Sig.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brushes down. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, here's where it gets fun. You get to vote on who you think is best and gets to move on to the next round. If you haven't done it already, there's a QR code at the table where you signed in. Please scan that, and then that is how you will be able to register to vote. The top 2 artists from each round will go to the finals. So, artists, thank you. We'll go ahead and get these moved to the easels in the back of the room over by the curtain there, and then we'll go ahead and get set up for round 2. So everyone, feel free to meander around, take a break. We do have a satellite bar in this room right over here. My buddy Dak will take care of you. Looks like he's got, I think I saw a Grain Belt Northeast on that, so that's always good. So yeah, go ahead, pay him a visit if you need a drink, and then of course there's still food upstairs. So stick around, and I'll check back with you real soon.
That marks the end of round number 1 in Art Battle Minnesota. Voting is now open for our first round. Head over to artbattle.com/AB2618 and cast your vote for your favorite artist. The top 2 artists from this round and the top 2 artists from our next qualifying round will move forward.
I almost forgot. Please be mindful of this cable right here. Our good friend Nick is handling our live streaming. So every once in a while he's going to have a cable coming from the middle of the easels over to where I'm standing over here. So just kind of be mindful as you're walking around. Thank you. All right, artists, if you want to take a moment and go clean off your brushes and dump the water buckets, that'd be very much appreciated. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know I told you that you get to vote on who gets to go on to the finals here, but what I forgot to tell you about is if there's anything here you really, really like, everything is up for bid and you can take it home. Bidding will start shortly. You can bid on all the art as you vote for it. All that will be through that QR code link that you went ahead and clicked on. Quick announcement. Last call for food will be in 25 minutes at 9 p.m., but the bars are still open. Round 2 artists, feel free to go ahead and get set up at your station, and we'll get rolling on round number 2 very shortly. All right, I just got about 5 more minutes to get ready, and then I'll read your bios, and we're getting a rolling. All right, artists, you guys all set up? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to roll on the second round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and 2 high fives virtually. Appreciate that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you ready to meet our artists for the second round? We can do better. There we go. All right, starting off on easel number 1, we have Dan Hegstrom Jr., which, by the way, was the first artist here today, and I want to say thank you for all of your help setting up. Dan teaches art and music to adults with disabilities. He has been drawing since he was 2 and has been playing drums for 21 years. Oh, okay. His art ideas come from childhood memories, inspiration from various decades, and culture. Next up on easel number 2, we have John Moe. And yes, I do have a bio for you. John's art is considered suburban with an urban influence. John can go anywhere from realism to abstract, from very technical to loose and more feeling. He is most comfortable with pen and ink or pencil, but has worked with any media available. Over on easel number 3, we have Cassie Leroy. Cassie's love for art, starting by watching Bob Ross as a child. There's another artist here who probably has an inspiration on that too. She grew up in a small town full of inspiring, beautiful nature. Cassie has a passion for both dance and art and found that movement through colors and textures helped her to express her emotions. Easel number 4, we have Anna Karina. All right. Did I pronounce that right, by the way? Did I pronounce that right? All right. I'm 100% today on names. Anna is an intuitive abstract artist working in a variety of mediums to include painting, mixed media, and beadwork. She works in a very layered fashion and goes where the work takes her without a present plan or outcome. This keeps her work vibrant, lively, and honest. All right, over on easel 5, we have another returning artist. Please welcome Mel. Mel loves teaching children and hosting wine, coffee, and canvas parties. She's a portrait artist, a muralist, does zombie special effects and face painting. She is also a previous winner of the Uptown Art Fair Kitchen Window Battle of Chefs and Artists. And finally, another returning artist, we have Jade Wilson. Which, Jade, is this your third art battle now? Yeah, honestly, so would I. Jade returns. Jade's a self-taught artist from Minnesota. Her multimedia style includes painting, drawing, mixed media pieces, and recently, textile art. All right, artists, you ready? In 3, 2, 1, let's paint.
And we are off for our second round of Art Battle in Minnesota tonight. And we have another 6 very exciting artists up at the easels. These guys will have only 20 minutes on the clock to go from blank canvas to incredible masterpiece right before your eyes. So be sure to stay tuned and keep sharp and pay attention to what these guys are doing, because we have lots of artistic techniques that are going to unfold right before our eyes here tonight. This artist is throwing down some beautiful subtle washes. We have this gorgeous kind of teal tone happening and also getting some gray down at the bottom. This is at easel number 1, Dan Hedstrom Jr. And I was checking out Dan's work, and he has quite a varied ability. He is able to really tackle so many different subject matters with a really skillful hand. So looking forward to seeing where Dan's piece goes. And here we are with John Moe. John Moe, his work has more of a kind of a pop culture influence. And something that I really noticed about John's work was that there was a very specific and clean execution technique from John, and definitely leaning more into that kind of pop sensibility. So looking forward to seeing how this piece comes together as well. Right now, it looks like we're getting some really, really clean line work with the brush here. For a moment, I thought he was actually using marker, because it is just such a clean, strong line, and it can be difficult to kind of get that sharpness with just a brush alone. But we can see that Joe has loaded up his brush and is executing very well. Here we are with Cassie Leroy, and Cassie has some drips going on from the top corners of her canvas. And we can also see that she's creating some sort of focal point in the center, starting off with a very light color, this yellow. And yellow can be a great way to especially start a figure or a portrait, because it allows for a lot of opportunity to layer over top of. You can kind of map out your initial drawing with that lighter color and then add on darker colors to kind of sharpen things up as you move forward. And here we are with Anna Karina, and Anna has a gray tone going on right now. Looks like she is really attacking the canvas. Actually, I think she was just using water there. I think she's just wetting down her canvas to make a slick surface for her paint. So I think we're going to see a lot of kind of dripping techniques from her. Her work was giving me the impression of being very intuitive, and also incorporating some figurative elements as well. So I think we can see some abstract elements and also maybe some elements of portraiture potentially coming onto the canvas. But with almost 3.5 minutes elapsed, right now we just have water on her canvas. So got to get some paint on there. Our first quarter almost finished. Here we are with Mel, and Mel looks like she is going into kind of a darker tone here. We've got this mixture of what looks like blue and brown, going into kind of this chromatic black. And for those who are wondering about that term, chromatic black is when you mix darker colors together to achieve a black, as opposed to using a straight black that would, or a carbon black that would be out of a tube. And it really leads to kind of a richness within those darker tones. So really nice technique work there from Mel. We can also see the clouds that she's putting on here, some clouds maybe blowing across a night sky. And we also have the beginnings of this kind of shadowy portrait that is taking up the bottom portion of the canvas. An interesting compositional technique here. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how Mel establishes the distance within this scene. Over with Jade Wilson, and Jade has some really great gradient work going on right now. We have this really beautiful sienna color. And we're getting this kind of glow technique as well. So Jade is kind of expanding the luminance of this piece outward throughout her composition. Back over to Mel here, who is now adding some hair onto her figure that is really playing well with the directionality of the clouds in the background. And I like the way that Mel is using her brush strokes to create these subtle curves within the hair and really mimicking the shape that she's already created for the clouds. So she's kind of calling back to different parts of the painting and really creating some harmonizing elements in that way. Back with Jade here. And we've got some quite abstract shape work here going on from Jade. And I'm wondering whether or not we're going to stay purely abstract or if we will be moving into different directions with this composition. It looks like she might be creating some guideline marks. Back over with Mel, still working on the hair here. Back over to Anna Karina, and we can now see what she was doing with that canvas that she loaded up with so much moisture. We can see that she's really using that moisture to her advantage, and that paint is just really just kind of slipping onto the canvas, and she's using this big, gorgeous palette knife to be able to do that. We are now reaching our halfway mark, and we have had just about 10 minutes elapsed in our second round of Art Battle in Minnesota tonight. So these artists have just 10 minutes remaining to tighten up their compositions, add in any major components that still need to be taken care of, and then, of course, adding in those final details as the clock ticks down. Voting is now open at artbattle.com/AB2618. So make sure that
No
you head over
pressure,
there.
but 10
Get
minutes,
registered
artists.
to
10
vote,
minutes
and
left in your
also take a
round.
peek at the auction. That's right. You can bid
I like Dan's
on
nod
any
of
of these
enthusiasm, like,
pieces.
oh, I got this.
Back over with Anna Karina here, and we can see all of these wonderful undulating lines that she's introduced to the rainbow that she's created. really using her brush to kind of carve out that squiggle and also incorporating some text in the bottom there. And we can also see that Mel is now adding some very exciting metallic elements into the finish of her piece. This piece has just come together in such a gorgeous way. Over with Cassie here, and we can see that Cassie has added what I think is a mushroom cap onto the top of her figure here, and we've got kind of this ethereal
5
quality
minutes,
going
artist.
on
5 minutes
from
remaining
Cassie's
in your
piece as well.
round.
Very interesting. Over with John, and I think that John is working on a light bulb here. We can see that we've got the close-up of the bulb, and it is laid over top of this orange square. And we can see the green of the cord and the cap that's connected to the light bulb. And we're also getting some really careful highlight work as well. And it's interesting the way that he has been able to capture the quality of being curved within that shape. So good job from John. Ticking into our final minutes of round number 2 of Art Battle in Minnesota. And now we have the reveal of Jade's piece, and we can see that she has a UFO hanging out in this gorgeous glow that she's created. She really did a great job setting the stage for how she was going to incorporate this scene. She really painted from the background forward. So I definitely appreciate that kind of technical approach. And it's just been wonderful to see all of these elements really continuing to develop for her.
Two-minute warning, artists.
We are headed into our final minute of our second round. Really great job from Mel here. I love the tone that she's used in the lips, that kind of blue, and how she's got a darker upper lip, really expressing the way that light hits the face. Voting is now open at artbattle.com/AB2618. So be sure to head on over to that link at the bottom of your screen and make sure that you are registered to vote. All you need to do is fill out your information and you will receive a text message with a singular link to vote for your favorite artist. The top 2 artists from this round and the top 2 artists from our first round will be moving forward into a 4-artist final showdown.
1 minute, artists. All right, ladies and gentlemen, help me count them down. 30 seconds. All right, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, brushes down. Give them a round of applause. I can only see 3 from my vantage point, but I like what I do see. If you haven't voted in round 1, please go ahead and do so. We're still waiting or tallying up votes on that. And please vote for round 2. If any of the art you see tonight you are interested in, the art that's painted live tonight is available for bid. Everything that is out already in the hallway that was in the Gallery Expo, that is available for purchase as well, starting at about $50 per piece. Feel free to come up to me or Kelly or Tom, who would check you in at the door, and we can help you out with that. Ladies and gentlemen, while we wait for our finalists, we have a 50% discount code, CANVAS, CANVAS. That code will get you half off the tickets for the next art battle right here in November. So it's only valid for today, or 24 hours, so hurry up and check it out. 5 more minutes to enter your votes for round 1 and 2, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't voted yet, please do. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some news for you. I have our finalists going to round 3. Are you ready? Advancing to round 3 on easel number 1, Richard Strohmeyer. Also advancing on easel 2, going to round 3, Juanita Tatum. From round 2, returning, advancing to round 3 on easel 3, Jade Wilson. On easel 4, going to round 3, Dan Hedstrom. And we will have a 5th wildcard painter, just for fun, Miss Jada Adams, which is, I believe, her. Are we on 4 now? Is this number 4? March. April, yeah. This is like her 4th art battle, so she practically lives here. So we'll take about 20 minutes to get ready. Artists, if I called your name, feel free to go ahead and start getting comfortable and set up as we needed, and then we'll roll on. And then we vote for a champion. And if you haven't bid already, please do if there's anything that's really catching your eye. I myself got like 3 pieces at home. beatbox it. Just kidding, I'm white. Why do you think I DJ? Can't fucking dance. I can keep a tempo. Artists, how you guys looking? You like halfway there? All right, cool. We got a little time. Artists, how you feeling? You need a couple more minutes, or are you about ready to go? Oh, that's right. We still gotta have Dylan take all the photos too. All right, I'll give you a few more. I got all night, really. All right, thumbs up just to make sure you guys are all good. That includes my audience too. You still awake? Oh man, I lost my audience. They all fell asleep. All right, you met our first four competitors. Our wild card is jumping in for fun. I'm going to take some time to introduce Jada Adams, which, happy belated birthday. Yesterday was Jada's birthday. Jada loves painting nature like Bob Ross and also has been glass blowing since she was 10. In addition, she also works with fabric, felt, fused glass, digital art, clay, wood, carving, wood burning art, sand sculpture, chalk art, pens, pencils, markers, obviously paint, and of course, her newest thing is hot glue too. Pretty soon you're just going to run out of medium to play with. All right. Artists, are you ready? Remember, get my timer set. And then we're good to go. All right. Audience, help me count them down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's paint.
And we are off for our third and final round of Art Battle in Minnesota. Painting with us up at the easels, our four finalists: Richard Strohmeyer, Juanita Tatum, Jade Wilson, and Dan Hedstrom. We also have a special guest artist, Jada Adams, who is painting alongside them non-competitively. We can see that Juanita is starting with a very similar approach to her initial qualifying round, where she's squirting paint right out of the tube in all of these loose squiggles right onto the canvas. Very exciting. I always love seeing how artists choose to start their paintings. It's such a great indicator of their style and what's to come. Here we are with Jade Wilson, and Jade looks like she is creating another landscape vibe for her piece. She's got a horizon line going, and looks like we have some cooler tones down in the bottom of the canvas and some darker tones rising into the top. Here we are with Juanita again. And over with, I believe that this is Richard. And oh, fun, we didn't see in his qualifying round how he achieved that ink blot technique, but now we're getting to see it. This is so exciting. He's blotted some ink onto the canvas and then taken a can of compressed air and is blowing it around. That's so cool. I have never seen that technique, certainly not at Art Battle. Always exciting to witness some firsts. We've seen a lot of art battles, and so it's always really cool when an artist reveals a new innovating technique that we haven't seen. Looks like Juanita is also playing with a bit of ink here. We can see that she's used a dropper to douse some drops of this white ink on top of there, and she's using the same scraper technique that it's a business card that she's using to really spatula around and spread all of the different paint, but at the same time kind of scraping it in her wake and creating all of these really interesting textural components to her underpainting. Back over with Jade, and we're seeing some organic shapes taking place, and I think that this is going to be some sort of beachy water scene. It looks like we've got some rocks kind of rising out of the water. And we're getting this gorgeous sienna hue coming in the middle. So I'm feeling like this is going to be just the tail end of a sunset, potentially. 4 minutes elapsed and lots of good progress from Jade here. She's also starting to add in some vertical elements here. I'm wondering if they're potentially going to be buildings or maybe a lighthouse. I would love to see a lighthouse in that composition. Over with Dan here. And Dan has some very interesting shapes going on right now. We've got all of these curved lines happening in the center of the canvas, almost suggesting a portrait, but I don't think that it's going to be a portrait. Definitely very mysterious at this point. Now over with Giada. Back over to Dan and this gorgeous golden color that he's created here. Definitely concentrating on capturing some curves and the way that light is hitting this object here. We can see that Giada is actually painting the sides of her canvas, which is always something that I really love as well. Getting a really beautiful gradient on Giada's canvas, fading from cool colors up at the top into this warm hue down at the bottom. And the winner of tonight's event will be moving forward into the Minnesota finals. So be sure to choose your champion carefully for tonight, because that artist will compete for in the regional championship, and then the winner of that regional championship will move forward to higher levels of competition and potentially to nationals. So it is definitely high stakes tonight. We can see Giada going in with some darker colors here, really using some loose brushwork and buffing that into the canvas. And here she's moved on to a fan brush. Here we can see Richard is building off of his inkblot creature, which I think is just such a fun modality of painting, especially for Art Battle. It feels very inclusive to the audience who gets to see these innovative techniques and kind of see Richard working with this organic quality that he's created. And I feel like he might even be making like a little tentacle tongue for this character. I wonder if he goes in with any plan of what the character is going to end up being, or if he just lets the inkblot kind of dictate where his inspiration takes him. We will have to ask him. Of course, we have artist profiles at the link that is at the bottom of your screen, artbattle.com/AB2618, where we've shared a little bit of information about each artist, and also shared their Instagram handles as well if you want to check out more of these artists' work and to contrast and compare what their battle style is versus their studio work. Back with Juanita here, and we have this very emotional character. And Juanita has done a really fantastic job of communicating emotion, not only with the expression of her character, which is a little bit exaggerated. We have this kind of elongated feature, but also very, very good at playing with color to intuit emotion. Sorry, I'm laughing back over here with Dan because the object in question has been revealed, and I think that it is a cat.
10 minutes, artist, 10 minutes.
10 minutes have now elapsed in our third and final round of Art Battle in Minnesota, and voting is now open. Head to artbattle.com/AB2618 and make sure that you cast your vote. And if you're not registered yet, make sure that you get registered to vote. You can also bid on all of the pieces that have been created tonight. So be sure to get in there and collect some artwork. Hang some of these pieces in your living room. Cherish the memory of seeing them come alive and support these artists. Back over with Juanita and Jade here. We can see that Juanita is adding in some colored tones on top of her portrait here. And what I was talking about with Juanita's ability to communicate emotion through color is we can really get this kind of contemplative, almost sad vibe from Juanita's choice of colors with these greens, blues, and purples. Over with Richard now, and we can see Richard is really tightening up the character that he's created. And it looks like it's almost like a little warhead, but it has this like tentacle tongue. So much fun. I love this piece. And I love the way that he's chosen to incorporate all of these different elements and is really intuiting where he wants to go with this piece. I think that this is a really fun, audience inclusive piece, and you can definitely get a sense of playfulness from Richard's work. He describes himself as being a surrealist toy designer, so we're definitely seeing that kind of sense of design, but also a sense of fun and playfulness present up at the easel here. Back with Juanita, and I think Juanita at this point she may be using a razor even to scrape away some of this paint. And we're getting some really interesting texture here, and the way that she's creating all of these subtle transparencies within this painting make it seem like it's a painting that's taken much longer than it has. At this point, this is a 14-minute painting, but it really looks like this is like an oil painting that she's spent many weeks waiting to dry and layer over top of, and incorporating different multimedia techniques as well. We can see that she's definitely knows her way around the media that she's using and really is applying it with maturity. Back over to Jade. And Jade has done just such a wonderful job of executing this piece. We can see that she's kind of obscured whatever vertical line she was working on before. I think she was maybe going to put in some sort of structure, but has decided against it. And I think that that was actually the right thing to do, because there's just so much peacefulness going on in this landscape. And we've got a very skillful application happening right now with the way that she's achieving this beautiful circular moon that she's putting in. I love that we have the sun fading into the horizon and then moon right up
5 minutes,
at the forefront.
artists. No pressure.
We have just 5 minutes remaining on the clock in our third and final round of Art Battle in Minnesota. And we can see these artists are really aware of their time limit, and we can see them starting to speed up and getting a little bit more intense with their paint application, really hurrying to get all of these details in. This painting is so funny and so strange. And it looks like Dan is using some paint markers as well here. Definitely a unique perspective for this piece. Back over with Giada. And we can see Giada is including a cat of some kind. A cat or perhaps a wolf, something kind of staring into the distance. And she's done a wonderful job at expressing the light of the sunset and the way that it's passing through and bouncing off of these clouds. Some more careful marker work from Dan, who is expanding the environment now. We've got kind of a desk going off to the side. Back with Jade, and looks like Jade has made the decision to reinvestigate that structure, and she's decreased the size of it to be more proportional with the environment that she's created.
2 minute
I'm
warning,
wondering whether or
artists.
not it's
2
a
minutes.
lighthouse or something like that, but could also be in the same vibe of her alien encounter from earlier. Could be a continuation of that same kind of storyline. Back with Juanita, and I really like the hair in this character. Feels very playful, almost like a costumed vibe, where we have these kind of animalistic elements, getting even more into the emotional tone of this character with the addition of some dripping tears. Ah, yes, it was the lighthouse. And I'm so glad that she switched up the scale for it because this is so perfect here. And she's creating that glow around it now. This is going to be a very tough painting to beat, I think, from Jade.
30 seconds,
Heading into our
artists.
final 30 seconds.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, help me out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put him down. Well done, everybody. Make sure you vote on this one, especially because this determines who we crown our champion for the night. And remember, all this art is up for bid, and so is all the stuff in the hallway that was on the expo. We've actually sold a couple of them, so if anything's grabbing your eye and you think it'd look good in the living room, go ahead and do it.
All right, voting is officially open for our third and final round of Art Battle in Minnesota tonight. So make sure that you head to the link at the bottom of your screen or use the link that was texted to you if you have voted previously in one of our qualifying rounds. So make sure that you choose your favorite artist because it is high stakes tonight. The winning artist of tonight's event will be moving forward into the regional final. So be sure to get your votes in. Will it be Richard, Juanita, Jade, or Dan who becomes tonight's champion? Only one winner will be crowned for tonight's event. So make sure that you get those votes in. And also, all of the works created are available for silent auction. So make sure that you bid early and bid often. 7:30.
All right, just a reminder, the discount code CANVAS, CANVAS, is good for 24 hours for 50% off tickets to next month's art battle right here on November 18th. And voting, if you haven't voted yet, voting for round 3 and all will close at about 7.5 minutes, right at 10:30. So if you haven't voted yet, please do. All right, finalists. Can I have Richard, Janita, Jade, and Dan to line up right in front of my table here? Preferably at a 45-degree angle so you'll look good on camera on YouTube for the live stream. Oh, hi, Dan. How are you? Kelly and I are trying to figure out, is that a cat, a dog, a horse, a goat, what? Oh, yeah, it could be a llama, too. No, I don't see any ears. Cat stretching. That's exactly what I saw, too. All right, so we got y'all lined up. Now we're just kind of waiting on the final results. Right? I wish I had a good drum roll, but out of the 30,000 songs on this laptop, that's not one of them. All right. We have a winner. Who thinks our champion today is Mr. Dan? All right. How about Jade? Juanita. Richard. Ladies and gentlemen, your champion for Art Battle 2618 tonight, Jade Wilson. Congratulations. Yeah. Jade, any words to your audience, both in person and virtually?
Oh, gosh. Fifth time's a charm.
Is it really 5 now?
I think so.
Oh, my God. Well, see, this is number 6. That means you've been all but 1. Holy crap. So we'll see you next month then. That's right. I like seeing familiar artists. Artists, congratulations for the finals. Jay, congratulations on winning. All artists, thank you so much for coming competing, and especially the repeats. Richard, Jade, everyone who's come back, Jada. And audience, thank you for coming and spending your Saturday, or what day is it? It's Friday. Thank you for spending your Friday night here with us. Did you guys have fun? You guys want to do this again next month? I know a couple of you already bought tickets. All right. And auction should be closing, so if you won any of the auctions, you can pick them up before you leave and pay online. Just please come and check in with Kelly, and she'll get you all squared away. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you on the 18th of November.
A huge congratulations to Jade Wilson, a phenomenal duo of paintings that Jade created, and it was such a joy to be able to see her create these beautiful light-filled environments with so many fun details. We will be seeing Jade paint again in the regional finals. So once again, huge congratulations to Jade Wilson for winning tonight's event of Art Battle in Minnesota. And of course, a thank you and congratulations to all 12 of our artists who painted with us tonight for their showing of creativity and courage. Thanks all who joined us on the stream. We've really enjoyed having you as our viewers, and we will be on the stream tomorrow for Art Battle in Brighton, UK, and also for Art Battle in Portland. So if you are loving the Art Battle streams, come on back and watch us do some more